shit ain't nothing to me, man. Chanel Optics got me seeing shit. I need fentanyl slime. I just popped a whole garbanzo bean. Fuck you mean. I smoke real Imrani, rapscallion ghost nuggets. Y'all can't fuck with me. I'm him. I've been him. I will continue to be him. Yellow rubies glistening like piss. Gulping sea monkeys by the gallon, my tummy feel crazy. That coochie yummy slime, that coochie doing it for me slime. They thought they could stop a demon, I'm back. The Zaza got me speaking Esperanto. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. We out here cloud seeding, the scope gleaming. You can't trust me. I don't even trust myself. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm getting too much money. Ass so fat, I'm peeking off this Danny Phantom slime. Can you remind me who I am? Get the president on the phone now. I fronted him a brick. I need my money. Hello? Black China? I'm moving different. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'm a dog. I'm biting the fart bubbles in the bath. We smoking symbiotes. Smoking that Whoopi Goldberg South Egyptian Fur Burger Deluxe Mega Million Scratcher Skunk Bubba Kush. We smoking dung beetle. I'm on 12 Vicodins smoking on Scooby-Doo dick. We smoking Sequoia Banshee boogers. We snorting that good Buffalo Soldier Tamarind Jordanian jibbies. They must have amnesia. They forgot that I'm him. That Burberry backwoods pack hitting that pussy smell like a Hellcat V8. We smoking shit in a glass pipe, blowing the Lord's bubbles. I'm sick in the head. I'm on them Broward County Tic Tacs. I'm on them Georgetown Geronimos. I'm on them Nashville Nibblers. I left my Margellas in the Benz truck. I'll have to stun on them next time. I don't give a fuck if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag anyway. I'm high on 12 Jason Bournes, looking to beat the cum out of a thick, fresh oak. We smoking filtered crack, you stupid piece of shit. I'll fucking kill you. Call that pussy the Matrix, because I'm in this bitch and I can't get out. Last guy who ran off on the pack got choked out by some Givenchy gloves. The last thing he ever saw was the price tag on them. Slowly faded into darkness, and I let the archangels take him. I need more Sequoia Banshee boogers. Don't be shy, girl. I love me some pastrami mud flaps. I'm moving like French Montana. Welcome to the cream kingdom, bitch. Open up. Black China. I drink her piss out of another man's ball.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dark Times with Dark Matt Steve. Lovers, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Let's get absolutely slutty. Tonight we have the right to get slutty. What are we getting into tonight? Trump says the N-word. You guys ready to watch Trump say the N-word? And then Tyler Robinson's second court appearance. You guys ready to see Tyler Robinson's second court appearance? Both of these are going to be slightly underwhelming. Just a red flag here, right on ahead of time. I'm going to throw this out there. Going to be a little bit underwhelming with both of these. Unfortunately, I haven't watched the full court appearance. This I just found it a few hours ago, or scrolled past it. My algorithm found it, not me. So yeah, we're going to take a look at that and see where they're going with this. I do have a few more clips of some other stuff between Candace Owens and some other people that are bringing up different points that are intriguing and whatever. It's weird, man. I'm starting to see more people get how do I say, maybe comfortable or become more accepting of the idea that there's definitely some shady shit going on, especially when it comes to Tyler Robinson. So we'll take a look at this court appearance. I don't know. I don't think that he really says much in this. But we'll see where the lawyers are going with this. I've seen a few people talking about it, so we'll check that out. But yeah, tonight we're on Facebook, YouTube, and X. So wherever you're at, get in the chat. I'll be right there in a second to greet you all, and then we'll get started. I'm not going to be on super late tonight, guys. I've just I'm a beaten man. I'm just beaten down. Beat down. Fuck, man. I'm exhausted. I got a lot of shit going on. But yeah, guys, fucking got a bong packed. I'm definitely gonna be smashing this bong tonight. It's that kind of night. Yeah, let me get over to the chat. Hold on one second. All right, lovers, I'm deep in the chat. Can you feel me? Chat, can you feel me inside you? Bob Cook, welcome. OOG7, finally. DMS, which I really want. Rainey's in the chat. She's selling off Turning Point USA properties. They're liquidating. Dutch Duke, welcome, sir. Dark Match Steve, thanks for reminding people. Yes, smash the like. Guys, gotta smash the like button. It's all I ask of you. Bart Hutchison, welcome. Yeah, guys, you know what? Let me say, I'll start off by saying I'm a little bit disappointed on top of everything I got going on. I'm a little bit disappointed that last night you guys didn't. I mean, Jeff Cron is the only one that put any money towards the Groucho Marx mustache or whatever the fuck what were we calling it? The hit, the Alex Jones deal. I said 150 and I would do the hit mustache. You guys weren't having it. No one was having it. Panda's in here. What's up, guys? Panda has arrived. Everybody just chill. Yes, that's me, guys. This my crisis, my life crisis it's just an act. Don't believe any of it. Really, I'm fine. I'm not stressed out or dealing with anything at all. I'm totally fine. Michael Earl, welcome, welcome. Chill the F out. I'm trying. Damn it. When you tell me to chill out, it makes me not chill out. It makes me stress. Andy Hijack. Hey, Dark Match. Hey, dude, why do you have, I'm really honestly, Andy Hijack, you have like, I think you have like multiple Instagram accounts or something. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe, I don't know. But let me say, I don't know who you are, but for the longest time, I didn't want to accept your friend request or follow whatever because your name, Andy Hijack, that seems like a fake made up scammer name, if I'm being real. Maybe you are a scammer. I don't know. But I mean, you've never sent me any weird messages like asking for my bank account details or anything like that. So I guess you're probably cool. But the name Andy Hijack, that's just like, that seems like if that's somebody that's messaging you or friend requesting you and you accept it, that you're asking to get scammed or hacked or something. I don't know. But welcome over on the Facebook. Oh God. Boy Toy still out of time? What do you mean? He's good. I'm friends with him. That's good. Adam, what's up, lover? Over on the X. Oh, out of town? Yeah, my butt buddy is out of town still. He's making good money though. I mean, oh man. Yeah, he's still out of town. Let me get the chat up on the page here so you guys can see yourselves in case there's, stuff in the chat I miss. It'll still come up. It'll still come up on the screen. Okay, guys. Oh, fuck. Oh. You guys mind if I hit this bong? Hey, do you guys mind if I fucking blow clouds over here? We're going to do this before we get started. Don't I have like what do I got here for this? I can't just do the whole deal right on screen. Here we go. There we go. I definitely got to hit this bong before I watch Donald Trump say the N-word. All gummed up. You know what? I would like to just make that the interpretation of it. Like, oh yeah, Steve's just frustrated because he hasn't blown a load. Let me tell you, I've been taking care of myself. Okay. So don't worry about that. It is really the companionship and somebody who's like, having somebody, even if we like argue here and there or something, it's somebody that's still always like on my side. Somebody and that I click with mentally, that I can hang out with and spend time with, and as someone that I can like relax and chill with or whatever. And I have other friends to talk to and call and hang out with and whatever, but it's just, you guys know what I'm saying. It's just like there's certain people like that in your life. And just like, I don't know, I've been really having like mentally just been like, fuck, man. I've been feeling like life is just so much more fragile. Not to get fucking weird or something, but with the Charlie Kirk shit, and we've been talking, I'm sorry, I'm sure some of you guys are actually sick of me covering this topic. I don't know. I hope you guys aren't. I'm trying not to be like too repetitive with stuff. Unless people are like, there's new people that come in the chat and they want me to catch them up on how we are where we are with what theories we are proponents of here at Dark Times with Dark Matt Steve. So, whatever. But yeah, guys, it's hard for me to not talk about some of it because it's like every couple days there's just some weird new stuff. There's some new thing, like either it's new information that gets released or it's enough eyes have been on the same videos and discussing the same topics to where people start to figure more stuff out or dig a little deeper on certain stuff and find stuff. So it's just like every day there's something new with the Charlie Kirk shit, and it's just like whatever. I want to keep up with it. Dude, guys, partly it's because if we take a few days off from covering the Charlie Kirk shit, I mean, the type of like I'm saying, it's new shit every day. And it's the kind of thing where if we get too far behind, I feel like it's gonna be hell trying to catch up with all of the information by the time I go to cover it again. Oh, what's up, dude? Nexus Minotti TV. What's up, bro? Dude, good to see you. This is my buddy. This is my buddy that I know through Barb and Carol. This guy's a really, really good photographer and videographer too. He does like videos and stuff, and he makes his own music. He's like a producer. Guys, for real, I'm not. Damn, dude, I gotta subscribe to your YouTube channel, bro. I'm not sure if I'm subbed on your YouTube. I know I follow. We're friends on Facebook and Instagram. I follow you. I know I follow you on Instagram too. I don't know if I'm subbed to you on YouTube. Guys, go subscribe to my boy. Hold on. No, I'm not subscribed. What's up, bro? I just subbed to your channel. Thanks for coming to check out the stream. I know Barb and Carol have been in here a few times. Kevin, what's up, Kevin, in the chat too? What's up, bro? How's it going? You thought you saw me today in Florida? Yeah, I live in Florida. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Yeah. Where'd you think you saw me? Because it's really funny. Today, I had a feeling that I was seen. I know that sounds weird, but when you get the paranoid feeling like someone is seeing me from far away who knows who I am or something. Greedo says, pull up that Trump N-word proof. No. You want me to? He doesn't say the actual. No, Greedo. Okay, I said this already. He actually says the N-word. He's going viral. There's all these fucking memes and stuff because Trump actually said the term the N-word. But he actually is referring to the bad N-word in part of this. I'll pull up the clip soon in a minute. Definitely. You think he said it before? No, he has probably. Guys, who hasn't said it? I mean, come on now. It's such a cool word. Who hasn't said it? I mean, generally, let me be real, guys. I have said the N-word, and I don't want you guys to judge me or please, don't unsubscribe. I have said the N-word many, many times, but normally the context in which I do it, I think most people would accept it. Most people would say it's okay. Because normally when I do it, when I say the N-word, normally 9 times out of 10, I'm saying it about a white person. And it's like someone who's really, really white. Like it's funny, Like if you see a white kid, a skinny, like nerdy looking white kid with glasses or something, and he's like, doing something really white, like he's grabbing a gallon of whole milk from the dairy, and it's this like, nerdy, really, really white guy, and I just go, look at this N-word, it's funny because, either you get it or you don't. I don't think I should have to explain it more than that. Ryan Francis, what's up, bro? That was a joke, guys. Okay, I'm just joking around. Everybody chill. Christopher Bailey, what's up, bro? Over on the Facebook. I got a lot of people on the Facebook tonight. Guys, I haven't been, so normally my lineup where I stream at is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, but because I've been covering a lot of the Charlie Kirk stuff, and that is a little bit more, like violent, risque, whatever. It's a little more controversial and conspiratorial. So I've been streaming on Rumble a lot because I feel like I can kind of get more eyes on it over there. Facebook, if there's a topic I'm covering that's a little bit sensitive, sometimes Facebook puts me in the worst algorithm. All right, I think I'm about caught up in the chat. Christopher Bailey, I think that's actually right. Christopher says there's not a person in the country that has never said the N-word. I think that's true. All right, I'm caught up in the chat. Okay. All right, let's pull up this video. It's kind of funny. This reminds me of 2016 Trump. You know, guys, I miss 2016 Trump, 2015 Trump. Back then when he was just really funny. He was just a funny character and no one knew what he was going to do, like if he were to become president. So anytime people called him like Hitler or, whatever, you could just brush it off. And anytime someone was like having a mental breakdown because of Trump, it was just sort of like, now he is kind of scary sometimes. But this reminds me of old school Trump before we knew what Middle Eastern country he liked the most. And before he brought the CIA in to monitor U.S. citizens with their technology through Palantir. Before all that, the good old days, All right, here's the N-word clip. Hold on. I got to get you guys on this tab. I got to be careful. This is over on Twitter. I have to be careful with Twitter because I can't just screen share. There's sometimes some crazy stuff on Twitter that'll give me problems. All right, so this is the clip. This is kind of going viral. The thing is, there are actually some people that it's funny. I mean, there's a whole spectrum of reactions to this, like with anything, but there's a lot of controversy. There's actually some people that are like, actually like pissed. I don't know what they're like. We can read through some of these reactions of people say, "Oh fuck, okay, bro, this is funny." I like that clip. But yeah, bro, this is funny because he's not actually saying it, but some people are actually sharing this as if like I feel like people are reading into this a lot and going like, "Oh, Trump wants to say the N-word, but he says we can't say it, but he wants to," type of thing, All right, let's play it.
And it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them.
Trump said, oh, fuck. Trump said, there are two N-words, and you can't say either of them, even if you really want to.
Use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but
we have more N-words than anybody else, I think is what he just said. I don't know if he's talking about nuclear weapons or or a certain group of people, but we've got a lot of both, I think, here in America. Luckily.
It's really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them. Can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else.
That's where it gets really funny right there. We have more than anybody else. It's like, oh fuck. Dude, that's good. You know what? That's almost funny enough for me to forget that we still don't have the Epstein list. That is so funny. The context. Who cares about context? That's a funny clip. I mean, I'm not saying he's racist. I'm saying I just like it. Christopher Bailey said, "I'm sorry, bruh. I love that hat, my nuclear weapon." Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I actually had this made. I probably say that every time someone mentions the hat. A lot of people like this hat. I had this hat made. So I don't remember. I know Milo Yiannopoulos had the hat first. I think he did sell them, but I didn't even when I saw him with this hat, I think it was on a Friday or a Saturday. And that day, I was like, I don't want to wait for shipping. I don't want to, I want to get that hat now. And I went and had it made that day. And I also wanted a flat bill. The ones Milo Yiannopoulos were selling was like the baseball cap deal, but I wanted a straight bill cap. So I went and I had it made. I know a place near me in Tampa that does it. So. Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't know if he came up with the idea for that hat, but that is honestly it's so it's a bit triggering. I have my buddy who is out of town, he hates when I wear this hat. He is actually, and I get it, and especially times like we're in now, but when I wear this hat in public, he does not like it. He doesn't like to be with me because he is scared someone's going to come up and try to kill me or something. Seriously. He's actually worried that he thinks, and I'm like, especially if you believe what the FBI and stuff are saying about all these attacks and shit, you probably would be scared and think on the other hand, I am pretty sure, half of this stuff involves the feds and stuff like that, especially what happened to Charlie Kirk. Something is up with the FBI story. It's ridiculously, insultingly stupid. And so I don't think someone would organically attack me out in public. But one time, my buddy who hates the hat, one time he did like it. He was like, we went to a gun show here in Florida, where you pretty much, you show your ID and you pay to get in, and then you get in there and there's a bunch of fucking guns. And, sometimes there's private sellers that will sell it to you without having to. You still have to show your ID, but you won't have to wait 3 days. It counts as a private sale. But I have a concealed carry permit, so I can walk out the day of when I purchase a firearm anyway. But yeah, even if you go to a gun show and you buy from a licensed firearm dealer, federally licensed, you have to wait a few days. They ship it somewhere to a gun shop somewhere that's near you, and then you go pick it up days later. But yeah, I wore this shit to the fucking gun show, and people were loving it. It was so funny. I mean, every time I went down an aisle, there was multiple people that are like, "Oh, I love that hat, dude." And my buddy was smirking every time someone complimented my hat. My buddy got a little mad, but smirked. And then finally he's like, yeah, well, this is the place where you wear that hat. You don't wear it to the mall. Someone's going to kill you. I'm like, okay. Quit drinking the Kool-Aid, buddy. Quit believing the psyops. Gotta be kidding. All right. So let's take a look. Let's go. We watched the Trump clip. It's people are probably still going to flip out over it. It's a nothing burger, but it is kind of funny. It's reminiscent of 2016 Trump before we were worried about Palantir and Israel and, all of that. Good times. Oh, this fucking guy. Dude, this guy. Hold on. We ain't going nowhere. We're staying right here on Twitter. This guy. He said it to his students or something. This is like a teacher.
Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. Nigga this, nigga please, nigga. Can you lend a nigga a pencil? Yes, I use nigga.
Was this a bit? Was this a parody? Because I remember that the full video of this guy, he had claimed that he was like, it was something like this guy was supposed to be in trouble because he said it in class to like some black kids in his class. And then he's trying to explain that he didn't use the hard R, he used the A. You guys remember this video? It almost, looking back on it, this now seems like it's a bit. Back then, I don't know if it was so clear. This is old. This is like from at least like probably 10 years ago or so. Over 5 years ago, I know. It has to be.
Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. Nigga this, nigga please, nigga.
That's wild. I do not endorse this kind of language. I'm not Nick Fuentes. Don't talk like this, guys. This is very naughty. Christopher Bailey, thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for the stream. Please give it a little clicking, if you will. Just click buttons on there, get in the comments section, mess around, all that helps. Thank you, guys. All right, let me drop that for 1 second. Got to be careful, guys. It's Twitter. Oh, fuck. Some of the other replies are funny. They're just like, he uses both N-words. They're talking about Trump. Okay, so let's get to the hearing. We'll watch this. This is like 10 minutes long. So let's just listen to everything they say. We didn't listen, or not on my stream. I don't know if you guys personally on your own time, but we didn't watch the whole first hearing, but we did watch the body language analyst guy who exposed that the media had altered the video. And I can pull that up again if we need to. Maybe while this plays, I'll pull that up here. Let me get you guys back up to see this. I'll go in the corner down here where I belong. Okay, let's read this caption. I forget this person's getting at something here in the cap. So the caption for this person, this hustle bitch. Now this page we've been getting a lot of based, interesting Charlie Kirk info. Alt theory info from this page, and they're getting at something here. Let's read through this. So Tyler Robinson speaks in second court appearance. Judge, do we have a Mr. Robinson present? Tyler Robinson, yes, Your Honor. The state prosecutor declares this is a substantial amount of discovery in this case. It is voluminous, to say the least. Substantial amount of discovery. So I think they're saying public defender responds massive amounts of digital discovery, and it's not our intent to waive preliminary hearing in this matter. Prosecutor also raised the gag order slapped down by Judge Tony Graff, a ruling that muzzled everyone tied to Charlie Kirk's assassination from talking to the press. So people were hit with a gag order. Man, I wonder if that's why. Dude, this is crazy, man. This whole case is so crazy. The parents have been quiet. So Candace Owens has been on this trip about that the FBI convinced the suspect, Tyler Robinson, they convinced his parents to go into witness protection and not speak to the press or anything because they would put their lives in danger. So the FBI, at least we know, whether we don't know, we can speculate about their motives, but the FBI has been trying to shut some people up related to this. Guys, and it's so funny. So I did save another clip. You guys remember last night when I was when we were discussing the Tyler Robinson stuff, playing some Candace Owens clips. I was talking about, it's very interesting because now we're seeing a pattern of being able to logically, justifiably question some of the legitimacy of these text messages and communications and stuff. You guys know I've been on about how, I don't know why we can look again maybe, but why there's been no squaring away of these Discord messages. The FBI claimed the shooter sent these messages through Discord, and Discord said that's bullshit. That the messages talking about planning this were not sent through their servers. So I don't know why no one's solved that. No one's hunted that down. Either find out if Discord is lying and trying to protect their public image by saying, or is it true that the FBI is lying and those messages weren't sent on Discord? Last we checked a few days ago, that hadn't been squared away. So we're just still left in a mystery with that. Then we've got all these text messages from back and forth between Tyler Robinson and his supposed furry trans lover person that he's with or whatever. Now, the crazy thing we've been speculating about, and I mentioned this last night, was if Tyler Robinson is even this could just be the feds with his fucking phone or something like that. Because one thing I thought was interesting is I think it's in the texts where Tyler Robinson is talking to his lover, or so I know there was some correspondence where Tyler Robinson explained he didn't answer the phone for his dad. His dad was calling him, and he knew his dad was calling because the rifle was being pictured on the news. And if his dad saw it, his dad would know, oh, that is a very specific, particular rifle, I guess, in the condition it was in and whatever, that he said my dad would recognize it. So I know my dad's calling me because the rifle's missing. And Tyler Robinson only texted his dad back. He would not call him back. But he said he didn't want to call his dad back because he was scared or whatever. It was something like that. He just was scared to call him back. So he just texted him back. Well, how convenient that the parents this whole time, who knows if the feds already picked this kid up? Who knows if the feds already have this kid Epsteined, if you know what I mean? And they're just using his phone. They in this chain of events, according to the FBI's narrative here, the kid didn't want to answer the phone for his parents, so he was only texting them. And who knows if he admitted to his parents or said whatever, his parents might have been thinking the whole time, we're trying to convince Tyler to turn himself in. And he seems to be hinting to us that he did this crime and we're trying to tell him to turn himself in. Well, if that's all being done through text messages, or mostly good portions of it are done only through text messages, then how do we know that he's the one that actually sent any of this? Just the plot has just been thickening and thickening with this. It's so fucking nuts. So anyway, let's get through this. So I guess this person's pointing out that there's been gag orders and stuff. They're talking about the discovery being substantial. So discovery, I think what they're referring to here, I'm no expert, but discovery is supposed to be when people are, bringing a fucking case against somebody else, and all of the it's all of the evidence basically is being put out on the table. That's what discovery is basically. So they're talking about digital discovery. So Public defender responds, massive amounts of digital discovery, and it's not our intent to waive a preliminary hearing in this matter. So they're saying they want a hearing to get all the digital evidence that the prosecution has. Prosecutor declares there's a substantial amount of discovery. So the prosecutor's like, look, there's a shitload. If you want the discovery, you want all of the evidence that we have. There is a lot. That's basically what he's getting at. And the prosecutor, the defender's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool and all, but we want to see all of it. We're not waiving the preliminary hearing. I think that's basically what they're getting at with this. So let's just watch this for ourselves and see if there's anything interesting we can pick up on here.
Do we have Mr. Robinson present?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's all he says. I haven't watched through this, but I think that's all Tyler Robinson says. And you know what? How the fuck do we know that that's even him, or if he's dead or something? Like, how do we know? They have this guy on a Zoom call. He's not even in court.
Please be seated. Good morning. Court is now in session. Calling the case 251403.
The fat pig. The fat pig. It's happening again. What? You're getting a big boner from watching my stream? You dirty little devil, you dirty dog.
576, State of Utah.
I can't stop. I can't help the physiological effects that happen from watching this stream and seeing a cute little twinkish man like myself. I can't help that. That's between you and God.
Versus Tyler James Robinson. Counsel, could you enter your appearances, please?
Chad Grunander, Jeff Gray, Lauren Hunt, Ryan McBride, and Chris Ballard for the state, Your Honor.
Good morning, counsels.
That's the prosecutors.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kathy Nestor, Michael Burt, and Richard Novak on behalf of Mr. Robinson.
Morning.
Oh, he's fucked. He's fucked. Look at this. Look at this team. This is his public defenders. I guess that he doesn't have a paid attorney, right? These are public defenders. This guy's screwed. Look at this. Look at this ragtag crew here.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
And to the jail. Do we have Mr. Robinson present?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Robinson, good morning to you as well. Counsel, as we begin, I have entered orders allowing the admittance of Mr. Michael Burt, Mr. Richard Novak, pro hoc vice, and appointing them along with Ms. Catherine Nestor to be Mr. Robinson's counsel. The court enters findings that the combined experience of counsel meets and exceeds the requirements of Rule 8. Counsel, do we have, what would we like to accomplish today?
I have two items, Judge. I just wanted to make a record that under Rule 16 of the Utah Rules of Criminal Procedure with respect to discovery, the state is required to provide to the defense within 5 days of the defense's request the discovery that we relied on in making this charging decision.
Okay, so yeah, discovery. This is where the prosecution has to show. So I guess I'm right here. I mean, that's they're going to have to hand over all the evidence. Now, I'm interested to see. I'm really. So I was going to say I was hesitating, but I believe that it also makes it publicly available when they do this discovery stuff. Whatever evidence is provided in discovery from prosecution, or in a civil case, if someone is filing a lawsuit against somebody else, they also there's discovery. They have to put all the evidence out on the table about certain things and whatnot. And I believe that makes it all publicly available. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure. So whatever evidence they put forward in this, unless it's, which I don't think it could be, or how it'd be interesting to hear if they could argue that some of it is classified information. I don't think that that's possible. I don't know. In a public trial like this, I really don't know. That would, if they did that, then you would know there's feds or CIA, Mossad or something involved in this if there's classified evidence and discovery. But anyway, we'll see. I think it will, whatever the prosecution is going to hand over to get this case rolling, I think we're going to get access to it after discovery happens. So that'll be interesting to see.
We'll be prepared to do that. So we'll look for defense counsel's request or the next day or so, and we'll provide that to the defense.
Thank you.
We also, for the court's information, we met this morning with the defense team briefly in our office to talk about discovery and the process. So we'll be working together. There is a substantial amount of discovery in this case, Your Honor. It's voluminous, to say the least, and we're working on a process where we can exchange information as quickly as possible and be efficient in that process. The other item I had, Your Honor, I saw that over the weekend, there was a protection order, pretrial and trial publicity order entered by Your Honor. And I just was seeking some clarification on page 2, at the end of the first paragraph. It reads, "To that end, lawyers participating in the investigation or litigation of this case shall inform all witnesses, investigators, consultants, staff members, or other members of the prosecution or defense teams that the prohibitions contained in this order." The state, we're seeking some clarification with respect to the phrase "all witnesses," Your Honor. There are a number of witnesses that have yet to be identified that will likely be used in the state's case. This occurred in front of 2,000 to 3,000 students at Utah Valley University. So we're in the process of identifying those witnesses.
Okay, well, you gotta tell all of them. You have to contact each one of them.
So those individuals are presently unknown right now. So we're looking for a little clarification from the court. And I suppose we're not going to make any arguments today, but there may be some follow-up pleadings that we may need to file.
Thank you. Ms. Nestor, did you want to be heard about that issue?
No, Your Honor, we would defer to whatever the court wants to advise them on that matter. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious that we don't know who all the witnesses are in this case yet. I think it's just important that if anyone is identified, that they have information about this order. So I think other than that, we wouldn't weigh in on any other matter.
Thank you. Well, thank you for that question. That's an important one. The court will rule that as the witnesses become known to each side, that information is conveyed to abide by this order. Obviously, there are potentially many witnesses, and so it's not the expectation that you would be able to do that up front, but as they become known, I would ask that you would inform them of this. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing from the state, nothing else, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Nestor.
Thank you, Your Honor. We recognize that we are here today for a waiver hearing. It is not our intent to waive a preliminary hearing in this matter. We are going to be seeking that one be set. However, based largely on what the state just referred to as far as the voluminous nature of the discovery materials, we do think it would be prudent to simply reset for another conference, another waiver hearing, a little bit down the road, where we have a better idea once we start seeing the discovery as it rolls in. I do recognize we're going to be getting that first batch in 5 days, but it's my understanding from our meeting today that there is massive amounts of digital that is going to be coming. And until we can kind of get our heads around exactly what we're dealing with and how much we need to process, it's going to be difficult for us to give you a reasonable expectation of when we will be ready to do the prelims. So we're asking today that we put that decision off And maybe we could check in 30 to 60 days and just kind of let the court know where we're at and how much we're looking at and how much time we may need to set a preliminary hearing. Also, as far as a detention hearing, we are not asking the court to address that issue at this time. Under the statute, the issue is going to come down to the question of whether there's substantial evidence, which right now we're just not in a position at all to be able to even argue to the court. So we are probably going to ask that the court delay that decision possibly until the time of the prelim. But if it's sooner, we will ask the court for a hearing. But at this time, we are not asking the court to make any decisions on that matter.
Okay, so I'm looking on another tab. Elbows down, asses up. What's up? What's up, bro? Welcome, welcome. So I was looking on another tab, the preliminary hearing, the waiving. So I don't think when I the way this person had that in the comments or in the caption on this post, this tweet we're looking at right here, the way that they had it worded there, it wasn't exactly in the chronological order in which, you know, there's parts that are out of it. But so I just looked it up on another tab. And so the preliminary hearing, I guess they're just talking about, I guess the judge, they can ask the judge or something to like take I'm confused because I thought, so I'm reading a preliminary hearing is a safeguard for defendants, a mini trial to determine if there is a probable cause to believe that a crime was committed and the defendant committed it. So she's talking about whether or not they're going to waive that after they get all of the digital evidence. I think that's what I'm understanding here. So once the defense gets all of the discovery, all of the digital evidence, the voluminous digital evidence that they say they have, and they take a look at it, then they can go, you know, either they can say, oh, this is stupid. You can't prove that my client sent this, and that. So we need a preliminary hearing because this evidence, I can't even see where you have a case here. And so then the judge basically will go through the evidence and do a mini trial and decipher whether or not the state really has a case against the person. So, yeah, I guess they can waive that. Like I said, the defense can waive that because that takes time and whatever. So they can say, okay, well, whatever, we'll waive that because we see where you're saying you think you have a case. I think you're wrong and we can defend it and beat this case. But I see where you're saying whatever, that these charges apply and whatnot. So, yeah.
Thank you, counsel. In regards to the next hearing date, how about October 30th at 10 a.m.?
That works for the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
That's fine for the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Now, as we're at the beginning, anything further from counsel from either side?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
As we are at the beginning of this case.
Elbows down says exactly. Are you saying replying to my interpretation of the legal comings and goings that we're witnessing?
It is my intent to only speak when I'm needed or it is necessary. But today I do wish to provide guidance and expectations that you can have for this court and wish to enter an order as well. As this case moves forward, Mr. Robinson's constitutional rights will be protected at every stage. He sits before this court presumed innocent, and that presumption remains unless and until each element of every offense charged against him is proved beyond a reasonable doubt.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to be the one to say this. So, okay. Why can't we see him right now? Why did we have a video of the initial hearing and we can't see him now. All we have is this for real? Like, all we have is a video of the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense, and a 1-2-second audio clip of Tyler supposedly, allegedly being on a Zoom call. That's all we get. Okay.
At the same time, and as applicable, victims are entitled under our Constitution to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, free from harassment or abuse.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, if this guy doesn't make it to court, if he gets Epsteined before he goes to court, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my shit. Be ready, guys. Be ready for me to lose my shit when this guy ends up Epsteined. And they just go, oh, whoops. Well, I guess justice has been served. Case closed. Another bullseye for Kash Patel and Dan Bongino over there at the FBI doing the Lord's work.
Justice
Good job, guys. The suspect you had offed himself. Job well done.
demands that both of these principles, the rights of the accused and the rights of victims, be honored without compromise. I remain steadfast in my oath that I made 56 days ago to support and defend the constitutions of the United States and of Utah. I will carry out my duties with fidelity, transparency, and impartiality, treating every person who appears before me with the dignity and respect they are inherently due because they are human beings. Let me be clear. I will not put my finger on the scale of justice. These proceedings will be open to the public, conducted in accordance with the law, and handled with diligence and competence to ensure that justice is never compromised.
Bro, is that for real? I was just thinking, I was getting ready to hit my bong here, but I was just thinking, I'm going to look up. I was just thinking in my head what the search terms I should use to try to find this. But elbows down, asses up in my chat here says, unlike his first hearing where his video was visible, his defense team successfully requested to block the video feed for his second virtual court appearance. Now, why would they do that? And it's I could tell you why. That's a rhetorical question there. So there's various reasons for that. One, you could be suspicious of the fact that who the fuck knows that this guy could be dead. They're using AI, and they've taped his eyes open. It's a corpse that they're using. There could be that. That would be crazy. That's major schizo level. Okay, but it could also be, we've been talking about here on my stream, we have been talking about how, in fact, let me pull this up, guys. Let me just pull it up for you because this guy can explain it quicker. I'll actually go to it. Let's go to it on YouTube. I think I could find the part quick enough if I can find this guy's video. Here we go. Eric. All right, where is this guy? I think it's this guy's channel. Let me see. Let's see here. Okay, I think I found it. Let me get you guys to this tab.
Well, Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter of...
Oh, this is not the guy. This isn't the same guy, is it? Fuck. It looks like him. What the fuck? Um, what the fuck? Is that not him? All right, here. Well, I'll put you guys back on this tab for a second while I try to find this. I don't think that that's the same guy. I don't remember him having that accent. Am I fucking crazy or what? Okay. Let's do that. We'll watch the rest of this just for a minute, and I'll look for 1 minute.
The standing order of this court that Mr. Robinson shall be allowed to appear in person so he can fully engage with his attorneys and participate in these legal proceedings. Counsel, regardless of who is watching, whether it is the nation or a single individual, we must fulfill our roles with integrity, civility, and diligence. I encourage each of you to give your very best to this case. Neither Mr. Robinson nor the people of Utah deserve anything less than the fair and impartial administration of justice. In regards to the next hearing, counsel, on that October 30th date at 10 a.m., it's the court's intent that be in person if it be the wish of counsel for the defense for Mr. Robinson to be present.
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Counsel, anything else that we can address today?
Okay, so did they just say for the next hearing they're going to want him to be in person? That's good. We'll see if he makes it.
Your Honor,
I have my doubts.
We appreciate the court's comments with respect to Your Honor's role in this case. In like matter, we commit to approach this case with integrity, with professionalism and civility. We are truth seekers. We will aggressively pursue the truth in this case. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, counsel, unless there's anything else, thank you for being here. This court is in recess.
Still trying to find this video. I think I'm getting close. Man, I should have watched this on the stream, but I didn't. I guess this was it. Okay, so I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back over to this tab so we can. So I'll show you guys what this guy found in this video. He's getting at the body language, analyzing the suspect here.
Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Behavior Alliance. My name is Spidey, and I use my degree in sociology and psychology, my certifications in criminal interrogation and body language analysis.
This is a different guy, isn't it? Hold on. What is his channel? Yes, this is. Okay, I'm not crazy. The other guy kind of looks like him. The guy that was in the suit. I knew it was a different guy.
And my experience as an award-winning mentalist to teach people behavioral analysis and practical psychology on stage and television shows all over the world. This week,
this is it. Elbows down. We found it. This is the guy right here. This is the guy that pointed out the inconsistency in the news. So what he's going to show you here eventually in this video, and maybe I can skip to it. I'll skip around maybe just so we don't have to watch this whole thing. This is like a 30-some minute video. But what he gets at is the local news, who you could argue has less incentive to edit and fuck with any kind of footage to give a certain opinion or whatever. The local news is showing a different version of the Zoom court hearing thing, the first one. It's only very slightly different, but yeah, yeah. So I think you may have heard this. I don't know if you may have been in the chat one of these nights that we covered it here, but yeah, there's two different versions being played here. So I don't know. It's making everything just seem so fucking suspicious. I don't know. I don't like any bit of this evidence. Nothing of this with this Tyler Robinson guy. There's not one step of this where they tie him to something so far. Again, that could change, guys. We'll see after the discovery. Maybe they just have absolutely bulletproof. They said they've got so much digital evidence. We'll see. I guess for whatever reason, maybe they're not telling us there's some other investigation still going on. I don't know why they wouldn't be shutting all of the conspiracy people up by just showing all of this digital evidence that they have that's just so rock solid. But so far, every bit of evidence that they've shown tying Tyler Robinson to this is just shaky at best.
This case is a doozy. There is so much going on. So Tyler Robinson, the primary suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination, showed up in court for the first time this week. Now, a lot of news outlets have reported that he was very stoic and non-reactive, and although that's very true for long stretches of this, there are little moments where some emotion and thoughts are coming through, but there's this really massive inconsistency that nobody is talking about, and the only reason I noticed is because I was watching two feeds of this hearing simultaneously, and something didn't add up, and from a behavioral standpoint, that distinction is huge. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And finally, a lot of you requested that we talk about the text exchange that was released to the public between Tyler Robinson and his roommate/romantic partner, and we're going to talk about those as well because there's a lot going on in there. So without further ado, let's jump right into the footage of his court appearance.
You know what? We'll just watch most of this together, I guess. We'll watch it sped up because this guy's going to touch on the messages too. So I'm interested to see. I don't remember what he gets in with that, but I do remember this is the guy that pointed out the inconsistency with the videos that the different news outlets are playing of this first court hearing.
1403576, State of Utah versus Tyler James Robinson. Could you state your name?
Tyler James Robinson.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Robinson. I'm Judge Graff. Mr. Skortis. So, Mr. Robinson, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court can appoint an attorney to represent you. I have reviewed your declaration of financial status and find that you are indigent. I'm provisionally appointing a Rule 8 qualified attorney to represent you on your case, Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson, I also wish to inform you of your right against self-incrimination. Anything that you say in court today could be used against you, and we want to protect your constitutional rights. Mr. Robinson, at this time, you will remain in custody without bail. Mr. Skortis, is there any other points that you wish to address?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
There are quite a few moments in this first clip where he is giving away quite a bit. The first one is when the judge says, "Thank you for being here. I'm Judge Graff," and we get a baseline for his acknowledgement. So when he acknowledges, we get this one downward pop with the chin like this. This is something that he's going to do throughout his appearance whenever something is said directly to him and he acknowledges it. And there are a couple of very important details here. One, it's just one pop downwards. That's very important. The chin goes down. Second, he maintains eye contact. So it looks exactly like that. Immediately after the introductions, when things are about to get started, we see him open his mouth, which is rare, and we see him take a deep breath that moves up into the chest. We know that because we see a visible breath. And this usually happens when we're stressed, feeling anxiety, and that makes perfect sense here. The introductions are done. We're about to begin. Here we go. When the judge says to him that he has right to an attorney, again, we get that exact same baseline acknowledgement. Chin down, eye contact, one pop. This is exactly what he does when he goes, "Okay, I understand." Immediately after that, as the judge is saying what would happen if he can't afford one, if you cannot afford one, we see his eyes slowly going downwards and his eyelids even close just a little bit. So everything is shifting down. Now, as a general rule in body language, when we're excited or happy, things go up. We call these gravity-defying gestures, and it's even in the language, right? I'm jumping for joy. I'm on cloud 9. I'm in the clouds. These are all positive things. And when someone's in a negative mood, we use language that goes the other way, downwards. He's feeling down, he's feeling low, and we see it in the body language as well. Research has shown that we perk up with happiness, we take up more space as well, and with sadness, we take up less space and things come downwards. So as he's talking about not being able to afford an attorney.
All right, Fat Pig, love you. Thanks for coming to hang with us, lover.
We start to see these negative emotions setting in. Things are coming down. Now, here's where things get really interesting, especially because we've established a baseline for acknowledgement. When the judge says, "I've reviewed your declaration of financial status," again, we get that same acknowledgement. One pop downward, eye contact maintained. But as the judge goes on to say that he's going to appoint a lawyer to him, we again see a nod, but it's very different from the acknowledgement nod. This time, the chin goes upwards like this, and we see an eye block, which is a very slow blink as he comes back down. So this is a subtle difference. But for someone who typically acknowledges downwards while maintaining eye contact, this time we have pretty much the opposite of that. Chin's going up as we're blocking the eyes. So the research on eye blocking is really fascinating because it shows that we're born with the reflex of doing this. Even children who are born blind eye block in certain moments. And it happens in one of two cases. So think of the eyelids as the garage doors to your thoughts, and either we're trying to keep them in or not let them come in. So you might see it if somebody's experiencing something really happy or great news. They might close their eyes as they're celebrating because they want to hold on to this emotion. Or when someone gets bad news, you might see it because they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to focus on this thing. Before we put it all together, let's talk about the chin going upwards. So this could mean a lot of things depending on context. Research has shown that everywhere in the world, universally, when the chin goes up, this happens with pride. When we're fearless or when we're feeling proud, chin goes up. Again, remember, positive, up. But it's also exposing the neck, showing that we have nothing to fear. That's one place we might see it. Another place we very often see it universally as well is when it's not held, but just a quick pop with a throwaway, like a dismissal of something.
Gotta be careful exposing your neck these days, guys. That's risky.
Something very often associated, especially in the Middle East, with the sound like this. So like that. It's like no, I'm good, just a throwaway. So in this case, context absolutely matters. Notice how it's happening, just this one pop with this slow blink as he comes back down. And I think the throwaway is exactly what's happening here, especially because we have someone who acknowledges like this. So this is very different with that eye block. I think what's happening is as he's being told about this court-appointed attorney, he's basically going, oh, what's that?
So elbows down, asses up. Yeah, I'm not a very tech savvy person at all. I'm a retarded twink and I barely know how to stream here. Okay, I'm using StreamYard, which is basically like, you know, it's made so that really stupid people can stream. Okay, that's a, StreamYard is very user friendly. So, but yeah, so you're saying high quality local version versus compressed stream version. Then you have encoding, decoding, decompressing by different non-local sources. Yeah, so that's what I was wondering if it could actually be just an honest kind of glitch, but I'm kind of suspicious of that. And I guess I don't know. So this guy, when he gets to it, and of course I'll let him explain his whole thoughts on this when he gets to it, but the way he explains it, the way that the video is off or whatever, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a tech savvy person, but it just seems weird that the whole video, according to this guy, the whole hearing video that is being shown on either source on the news, it matches up, it's synced up completely until you get to the part where the judge says, so yeah, you're being charged with such and such because you allegedly, assassinated Charlie Kirk because of his political views, and then nods his head as if he's agreeing with that or acknowledging that as true. It's just weird, the timing of it. And then also it's the fact that, I mean, so you tell me, maybe maybe you would know better, but the thing is, it's just the audio that, well, it depends. I would say it's probably the video because the audio of the entire hearing is, I wouldn't doubt, I think that's matched up. So yeah, the audio of the whole thing is synced up, but it's only the one part of the video that is apparently stretched in one version to make it to where he responds later, or in one of the versions, the fucking video is, there's a piece cut out to make it shorter so that he responds earlier as if he's acknowledging guilt for, you know, the motive and all that shit. That's the argument here. I'm not aware of how, like, if it's edited to make it look like he's agreeing with the judge that he assassinated Charlie Kirk because of political views, that's what's implied here, is that it could be edited to do that. I don't know what kind of glitch or issue with compression, decoding, all of that, where that would tie in to make some of the video shorter, but the audio still line up to make it to where it looks like he's responding earlier and almost admitting to guilt instead of acknowledging that the proceeding is over, which is what people think is the original version. I don't know. Getting long-winded here.
going to do? Like, I'm in so deep. Like, what's that guy going to be able to do for me? And then notice how right after that, as the judge concludes this whole thought and says, Mr. Robinson, we get one more, that classic acknowledgement like this. So we had the classic acknowledgement, then this different nod, and then the classic acknowledgement. Again, normally you would expect, okay, got it, okay. But here it's more like, okay, okay. So we're getting some negativity between those two acknowledgements. Now I want to throw a quick caveat at this and this whole context, because this is an analysis of a reaction. And that's very, very interesting for me because, of course, when we're looking at an interview or an interaction, when the person's speaking, we're getting feedback, we have more confidence on our reads because we know what they're saying, we know what's in their head, and the behaviors are associated to that thought. With reactions, we're not always certain. What if the thoughts wandered? What if he thought about something else when the guy said attorney? We can't really know. But keep in mind, this is literally my wheelhouse. It's where I got my 50,000 hours of practice of reading people, because my career for over 18 years has been to bring people up on stage in front of an audience, and I look at what I see and I start feeding things about themselves, and I'm looking for these little micro gestures as I'm talking to adjust my read. And my job is to look for those little distinctions, know what they mean, call that meaning out, and have the person go, oh my God, how did you know that? And the audience applauds. So I'm constantly looking for these little shifts and distinctions. So what I do mentalism is a mix of trickery, but in the cold reading aspect has a lot of exactly this. And if I saw this in a real world context, when I'm doing a reading, someone acknowledging along like this, and then I say something and I get this slow blink with this upwards nod, I would go immediately towards conflict or negativity. I'm sensing some kind of conflict here. There was a negativity. Did you guys get into a fight? And with pretty high confidence, I would go down that path. Something is different in that nod. When the judge says anything you say can be held against you, we see some stuff with the lips. So the lips go downwards like this with a bit of tension, and that happens twice. And this is one of those cases where I can't tell you with 100% certainty what is causing this. I know that online we often see comments from people like, oh, this means this 100% of the time. That's just not how behavioral analysis works. And this is a very ambiguous gesture. Could it be that he's cleaning his teeth? It's possible. There's a family of gestures that are called adapters, pacifiers, manipulators. There's a lot of different names for them in the research, but they're massage-like gestures that we do to adapt to stress. So it could be with the arms, the hands, the face, and yes, sometimes we do with the mouth as well to alleviate some of that tension. But tension in the lips is also very common with withheld opinion. Like, is there something here that he wants to say, but the judge is saying, don't say anything because it might incriminate you. So he's kind of holding something in.
Yeah, elbows down. That is part of the problem. That's why I do want to actually see him in court and whatever. And I don't trust any of this. I don't trust any of this Zoom hearing bullshit. Not at all. This is BS. Just for those maybe just listening, elbows down in the comments or in the chat here said, we don't actually know. And this is a good point. This is, part of what we're getting at here. As you don't know if this is pre-recorded, you don't know if he's actually responding to whatever. Elbows down said, we don't actually know what Tyler Robinson is seeing and hearing. We just take for granted he's seeing and hearing the same stuff that we see in here, the judge and prosecution and the defense say. Oh yeah, I was pretty sure we were on the same page here, so I took a chance. Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's the thing, bro. I don't trust any of this.
That's why we're seeing that. There are a lot of possibilities. It's just an interesting note that we're getting this lip activity around that thought. But immediately following that, the judge says, we want to protect your constitutional rights. And we see from him upward nods again. And I say nods because it's this bit of a bobble. It's not just this one like this. Very often he does these one pops. Here it's this upwards like this. And I think, again, it's going upwards because there's a little bit of an element of dismissiveness to this. Like, yeah, sure, you want to protect my rights. That's what we're doing here. That's what this is. And then notice that almost this exact same upwards bobble happens when the judge says that he's going to be held in custody without bail. So it's unlikely that he knew that before this moment. The judge is probably announcing it. It's possible that, whoever's representing him was privy to this information. But regardless of that, upon hearing it, we see again that upwards nod like this twice. And this time it's followed.
Okay, so let's skip ahead a little bit because really a lot of this, like I said, I don't even really trust this. But he's just analyzing. Basically with all of this, we're not getting anything conclusive out of any of this, if I remember this video correctly. So looks about here, he starts comparing side by side the two videos. So let's skip ahead to like 16 something 17.
All right, boys, let's get this puppy back in the
not before we watch an ad for Adult Swim.
place on three. Ready?
All right, let's go.
Okay.
One, two, three.
Because there was stretches where we barely see anything out of him. So the event was mentioned, the children were mentioned, and throughout this entire thing, we're getting nothing. And all this is very interesting to me because there are a lot of theories out there. Some people believe he did this. Others believe he must have had some other people helping him with this. Some people believe he had nothing to do with this. But despite all that, whatever the case, I would expect to see some kind of emotional reaction to what's being said here. Like, for example, I know that almost anyone I've talked to about this event, regardless of where they fall on the political landscape, when they think about the children, Charlie Kirk's children being there and witnessing that, almost everyone gets a sad reaction to that. And anytime I think about it, I think about my own family and my own kid and this kind of thing happening, and I get really sad about that as well. So even whether he did this, whether he didn't do this, whether there was other people, why is there nothing happening when the kids are coming up? It's possible, it's very possible, whether somebody else advised him or he thought of this himself, that he's under the impression that he shouldn't react to anything because it could be an admission. So he told himself, just sit there, glaze over, give him nothing. because otherwise they can use it against you. Or those guys on YouTube will look at your body language are going to be like, oh, look, there's guilt there, so he must have done this. So I don't know. Maybe he's making a conscious effort to not give any reactions. And that's exactly where this gets really interesting and frustrating. And I discovered something that no one else has talked about, and I don't blame them, because what happened to me was very specific. So what happened is I first saw it on Instagram, and I said, wow, this guy's not giving him anything. And then when I was going to do this analysis, I went on YouTube and I searched for the whole footage, and I came across the version on ABC News. And as I was watching it, I saw something completely different. Watch this.
Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief.
All right, let me slow this down to regular speed so that we can see exactly what happens here. In fact, I'll do this too. I'll go down here. So this is what he realized here. We're at 1903. He's saying he's watching. This is going to be the difference in the recordings. Let's take a look.
As I was watching it, I saw something completely different. Watch this.
Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. That concludes reading the information. Mr. Robinson.
Please tell me you notice the difference. In this version, when the judge said that Tyler intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of his belief or perception of Charlie Kirk's political expression, as he's saying because of Charlie Kirk's political expression, we see Tyler nod downwards, the same way he does when he acknowledges things. And in that moment, I'm looking at that going, wait a second, like this whole time he was stoic, and this one moment where in this slip up where he's going, yep, that's why I did it.
Kirk's political expression.
But there was a little voice in my head that was like, wait a second. I saw this on Instagram earlier, and he never acknowledged anything. I was looking specifically for that, so there's no way I would have missed that. So I took both clips. I took the ABC News one that I was watching that has tons of views online, and then I compared it directly to another one that I found that was from a news source in Salt Lake City, and I synced up the audio to where the judge is saying the same thing. And I looked at Tyler, and it wasn't the same thing. In the local one, in the Salt Lake City one, all the charges are read. He doesn't react. And then when the judge says that concludes the charges or whatever, when he's done, when he's concluded, that's when we see the acknowledgement like this. So Tyler goes, good, okay, we're done. I get it, acknowledge. So I'm going to play them side by side. I'm going to show you this clip. And on the right, the little box, that's ABC News. And you'll even hear that the audio is synced. And on the left is the one from the news station from Salt Lake City. And look at when that nod hits. On ABC, it's an acknowledgement to the charge. On the Salt Lake City one, it's an acknowledgement to we've concluded.
Because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. That concludes reading the information. Mr. Robinson.
To clarify, in the beginning, they were both synced, and it seemed like there were.
Man, it's crazy because it's a very subtle thing, but this is a big deal when you're talking about potential jurors and stuff that are going to be watching all of this. And people who also, I mean, look, and not everybody is a body language analyst, but people pay attention to that shit. Even if they couldn't, even if someone did get that impression, they might not even be able to consciously know or express that, oh yeah, I think he was guilty because I remember seeing him react a certain way, whatever. Just sometimes that's just all subconscious with people, that they pick up on it. They don't really take a mental note consciously, but their brain picks up on it. Like, oh, I remember getting this sense of him acknowledging or, whatever, affirming that was the motive behind what he did.
Responses that he was giving were timed well with what was being said. And then at this moment, I realized that the clips were out of sync. So I'm watching one of them, and I'm watching him not react throughout and only react when it's done to acknowledge, okay, we're done. And that one, by the way, is on a network called KUTV2 News. That's in Salt Lake City. But then on ABC News, one of the biggest news platforms of the country, I'm seeing this report that's been seen by tons of people out there. And when he's being told, when the judge is saying the motive for having done this, which is political expression, we're seeing an acknowledgement. And listen, you don't need to be a body language analyst to see that acknowledgement, right? The judge is saying that Tyler specifically chose Charlie Kirk because of his political beliefs. You're seeing the guy in that moment acknowledge it like this, the way he's acknowledged other things before. Seriously, what are we doing here? The year is 2025. Why does this footage look like it was filmed on a potato from the 17th century? Everything is choppy, everything is laggy. So what I did is I looked at both clips and tried to listen and look at the judge to see which one is more synced with his audio. And in both cases, it was, again, super laggy, pixelated, choppy, but it does seem like the one on KUTV makes a little more sense with the way that the judge is moving when he's speaking and the way like he puts the papers down. It looks like it makes a little bit more sense and lines up with him finishing and Tyler just acknowledging that that concludes the charges. But I have no way of knowing that for sure. I don't know where that lag came from. And even if the judge seems synced, how do I know for sure that the feed that we're getting from Tyler is at the right time? Who's to say which of the two got it right? When you have two news outlets playing the same audio, the same footage, but the guy who's on trial in one of the most high-profile cases right now in all of America, and we can't see what the guy's reaction is. Why are we even filming this? All right, thanks for listening to my rant. I hope so.
Okay, so he goes off about the messages and stuff too, I guess. We'll skip that because I whatever. We got other stuff to get to, and I really wanted to be done like before 10 if possible. I do see I got like 40 some people in here between the three places we're on, so I don't want to leave too early, but that's all the stuff I wanted to like touch on, or that I had, at least in my caption and stuff. But let's take a look. I saved some other stuff that I want to take a look at that I think is significant. Steve Pennington, grumpy old man. Oh, he's watching on 2 spots. Thank you, sir. That's the kind of commitment I need. That's the kind of help I need to fight these algorithms in here. I need you guys creating fake accounts. Come on. All right, so okay, let me drop this. I'll go. Where did I have this part? I think this is over on the Twitter, so I gotta wait to bring you guys over here. Okay, let's hear what Candace Owens is getting into. So she is questioning the authenticity of these texts. Spider Zionist, N-word, nuclear wad, word. Yes, nuclear word. Adam Wiley, yes, thank you, sir. Please like, comment, sub, interact. Get up in this chat. Guys, don't be scared to slut it up in this chat. No one's going to hurt you. No one's going to break your heart in this chat. Wait, what do I... Okay. Let me bring you guys over here, and then I'll go down in the corner so we can watch this together. Dude, StreamYard's kind of having problems. Okay, so breaking. Candace Owens says she has a source who confirms that Tyler Robinson did not author the alleged text messages to his boyfriend. She says Tyler Robinson has no idea where the text messages came from and are entirely fictionalized. Is the FBI lying to us? Guys, this has just been getting crazy. This is fucking nuts, man. I mean, either Candace Owens is just, she's at this point in her career where she wants crazy tinfoil hat people to just follow her, and she has no issue with lighting her credibility on fire and then flushing the ashes down the toilet. So it's either that or she's on to something here. And she feels obligated. I mean, I'm sure she's after the clicks too, but I feel like she's on to something here and feels obligated to share it. So I don't know. We'll see. again, she could just not give a fuck about her credibility anymore. I don't know. But that's not really the vibe I'm getting from this. Candace doesn't give me that Alex Jones, like, extra performative kind of vibe when she's breaking this shit down. This is more like she thinks she's on the right trail here. She's picked up a scent, and she gets catty about it a little bit, but it doesn't seem performative like Alex Jones does sometimes, where you're kind of like, okay, dude.
On the topic of rhetoric, I am told that Tyler absolutely did not author those text messages. What text messages? He has no idea where these messages came from. Believes that they are therefore entirely fictionalized. It turns out, you're going to be shocked, that he doesn't actually use words like vehicle, which should come as no surprise to anyone that has a brain. By the way, I'm sure you caught this, but there's old footage of Tyler Robinson that is now circulating from a car accident that he had. And during the discussion with the officer that showed up, Tyler certainly refers to it as his car, not his vehicle, because that's how most English speakers refer to a car, unless they're in the military or on the police force. So here is 2022 police body cam footage, in case you missed that, of Tyler making a crash report. Take a listen.
Your mom's on her way? Yeah, she's gonna be a minute. She's got to shuttle over from where she's at to her car and then drive over. Gotcha.
His mother was gonna shuttle over from her car? Interesting.
He does say vehicle in that video, though. She's a smarty pants. Adam says sassy, yeah. Ooh, Adam is on 2 platforms, too. Guys, I mean, I appreciate it. It's embarrassing that I'm pointing out that you guys are basically we're creating our own click farm here. It's a little bit embarrassing, but whatever we got to do to hit the right algorithms, I don't care. I'll do it. So in that video, if I'm not mistaken, he does refer to a car as a vehicle, but and I know there's probably going to be some people that are like, oh, well, he said vehicle, so the messages are his. Look, guys, everybody settle down, okay? I really think, and I know those people that want to believe the FBI, they're going to say, oh, you have an excuse for everything, whatever. That's fine. But listen, what I will notice is, what I will point out that I noticed was in that dash cam video, I've seen people sharing the clips. So there's some people that don't want to believe the FBI, like Candace Owens here. They're sharing this part of the clip showing where he refers to his mom's car or his car or whatever. But in the other part of this dash or badge cam video, he does refer to a vehicle. But when he says the word vehicle, he's referring to someone else's, another vehicle, not like associated with him. You know what I'm saying here? So it could be nothing. He just uses both words interchangeably and whatever. But to me, it seems like when he is making a personal kind of statement, like, oh, my mom's car, whatever, she has to shuttle to go get her car, that's like someone talking about sort of like personal stuff. Okay. But when Tyler Robinson is explaining in this badge cam video, when he's explaining the technicality of what to a police officer, he's explaining what happened in the actual accident. He does refer to a different car on the road as a vehicle. But to me, the way I interpret that is, it seems like when he's making a technical statement to a police officer, and it's not about a vehicle that is his or that he has any kind of personal relationship to, he calls it a vehicle. He's like, that vehicle. That's like a non-personal kind of like, oh, that other vehicle, and a technical kind of term. But when he's talking about it seems, at least a little bit of exposure I have to his use, his vocabulary, It seems like when he's speaking about a vehicle that he has a personal kind of whatever relationship with, and he's not explaining something technical to a police officer in a sort of like, professional on the record kind of fashion, he says, "Oh, my car, my mom's car, whatever." So I don't know. That's not enough for me to throw out all these text messages and say that they're fake, but that's what I'm picking up on here. I don't know.
There's more, of course. Of most interest to me, what I've learned is that his father does not believe, his parents don't believe that their son committed this crime.
So we did let me see. Gotta be careful with Twitter, guys. Hold on one second. Let me do that. There we go.
On the topic of rhetoric.
No. Shut up, lady. So there's this George Zinn guy. I saved these videos too because this is some different people have been pointing out issues with this fucking guy. This deleted podcast. So someone claims to have watched this or listened to it. So the old guy who looks like he was just like a different Patsy or whatever, that old guy that got detained or arrested or whatever at the Charlie Kirk event, but then I think let go. And then this was like last week, he got busted for having like CP stuff. Some kind of cheese pizza, Chisel Pizzorn, cheese pizza. All right. Let me drop that there. Sorry, guys. I got to be really technical here because Twitter's risky. You never know when you'll see some like tits and ass popping up or like barbecued Palestinian kids or something. I can't just be like willy-nilly showing you guys everything that I see on my Twitter algorithm. That is beyond risky. So this is a guy. Well, this bitch about to get into it. They're on this building. Now, the guy they showed here, I never went over this on the stream, but I had saved some stuff to talk about that. This guy is purportedly, whatever, supposedly, allegedly, I don't know. I'm just trying to cover my ass here. Went to the crime scene and got arrested for tampering with the crime scene.
I just got done listening to a deleted podcast episode of George Zinn, and I'm now convinced he's an intelligence asset. The episode is called George Zinn, Utah's most famous political celebrity, and it's from 2023. He talks about how he met Ronald Reagan, went to his inauguration, and also snuck past Secret Service to attend his funeral, attended both inaugurations of President George W. Bush, went to the National Convention for President Trump, President Barack Obama, met Henry Kissinger, Al Gore, and Dan Quill, George W. Bush's vice president, among many others. Which is strange because he just worked at a thrift shop for the LDS Church. And speaking of his affiliation with the LDS Church, he grew up Mormon, and when he was at the University of Utah studying psychology, he went to fulfill his mission in Virginia, just 100 miles away from the CIA headquarters. And what's crazy and heavily documented is that members of the LDS Church are often recruited by intelligence agencies because of their cultural adaptation, their language skills, and it has been reported through many different news outlets. And not only was he at 9/11, was the Utah man charged with making a bomb threat at the Salt Lake City Marathon, was the patsy at the Charlie Kirk assassination, but was also weirdly one of the few people allowed into the Kobe Bryant court case and was even documented making statements. That's an awful lot for a man that worked at a thrift store.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw here, she had some article pulled up that was quoting George Zinn in this article, and it's this same fucking guy that was at the Kirk event, that he's been at all of these fucking crazy high profile events or people that he's affiliated with.
He also married a cat lady named Joanne Kathleen Edwards, not because they were in love, because he said he needed a place to stay. She worked for the IRS and they were married for 7 years, allowing him to travel between DC, New York, Denver, and then back to Utah every once in a while. It's also crazy because in the podcast, he's a self-proclaimed Republican supporter. But the day of the Charlie Kirk shooting, he was labeled as a lefty lunatic who just wanted to silence Charlie Kirk. I think it's pretty obvious why this podcast has been deleted from the internet. They don't want this information getting out there.
I don't know if they're trying. I think they're trying to point out this guy. I thought initially they were pointing to George Zinn in the crowd, but I don't think you can see him there. I think they're pointing to this guy who I believe is coming up to debate him. And so he has his arms crossed and whatever because he's not a supporter. I don't know if that's not incriminating. I don't know. I mean, we'll see where they go with this. They put a caption at the bottom that says body language speaks more than words. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. Body language does speak more than words. You know what? And if this is the guy, I think they're about to go into, this is the guy that was debating Charlie Kirk when the attack happened. And when if you look at the footage, it's I forget which version it is. It's not the up close one, and it's you could maybe see it in the one the far away one where the people are up on the like rooftop type of deal. The people that are elevated that record it and then they run away after it happens. Fucking I don't think it's either of those. It's a different version where the camera is to the left but behind the guy asking the question. And when Charlie Kirk, it's right during their interaction, and Charlie Kirk replies, "Are your statistics? Are you including gang violence?" And the guy's like, "Perfect," because he's like, "Oh, I already I knew you were going to bring that up," type of thing. Like, yeah, I have a response for that. Perfect. And then when Charlie Kirk gets hit, and we all saw what happened to him, and the blood starts gushing from his neck. That guy, the same guy that they're pointing out here, his body language speaks volumes. I don't know if they're trying to incriminate him. He probably did not like Charlie Kirk, but when he saw, you can see this guy's, what I'm getting at is you can see his reaction in other certain angles of this, of the recordings of this attack. You can see his reaction when Charlie gets hit, and it is very clear that it's a mortal wound. This guy goes like this. This guy freaks out a little bit. there's only certain angles that you can see it, but he puts his hands up. He's just like, oh my God, and puts them on his head and like goes down. He definitely has like a genuine freak out moment that he's watching someone perish right in front of him in such a disgustingly violent way. So I don't think this guy was a part of it at all. His reaction to it seemed so genuine. The video I saw, and I'm sure Turning Point USA has a better, they have a better angle of this guy's reaction, but we'll probably never see any of that footage.
We met Hunter Kozak and Jeb Jacoby. Jeb was a volunteer at the event. He was part of Turning Point USA.
He meant an inspiration to me. I watched his campus debates where he was able to communicate with other individuals in a pretty professional way when it came to debates about pretty much anything. And I just found that admirable.
ESPN, what? Elbows down, say ESPN scrub the George Zinn Kobe trial. What? You're talking about the thing they referenced in this video, right? Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, this is working. Hey, Charlie.
Hunter Kozak, who would identify himself.
Man, I'm telling you guys, it's so sketchy, man. Dead links. Bro, that is so sketchy. I'm telling you guys, this is what we're up against. It's like, it sounds crazy to be like, oh yeah, the media conspiring with 3-letter agencies and whatever, and possible Mossad or whatever the fuck. Guys, it is not crazy. I've been over it, and it's just because I hate to beat a dead horse with it or sound like a broken record because I bring it up a lot, but it's just a good grounding fact, a good reference point to ground everybody to the fact that the media 100%, I know people probably sort of accept it, but I don't think people realize how much sometimes, I don't know, ESPN, I'm not a sports person, so I'm not very familiar with how they report anything, but these media outlets collude with powerful people and or agencies and stuff like that. We know about Operation Mockingbird, right? That's the one about CIA embedding themselves in American media. But there's also, and this is the thing I bring up all the time, is the New York Post article with Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the nail in the coffin. That is like, you don't need to see anything else to know that the media, big media outlets with a lot of, you would argue, motives to protect their credibility and not be seen as like, some fucking CIA asset or something. Big mainstream media outlets like the New York Post will Photoshop pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell at In-N-Out Burger. That happened. You can go look that up. There's multiple articles talking about it, and I think the Daily Wire or the Daily Beast, one of them, take credit for having sniffed this out. But what happened was Ghislaine Maxwell took those pictures whenever they happened. Ghislaine Maxwell, at some point, the media took people from the New York Post. They're always, I'm telling you, they're involved with some weird shit. I'm telling you guys. But they took pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell at In-N-Out Burger at some point. They're real pictures. She's there, but there's a bus stop behind her in one of these pictures that has an ad on the bus stop like they often have. And the ad is not accurate to when they say the picture was taken. Because people, the day that the New York Post released those pictures, people went down to In-N-Out Burger, and one guy took a picture of himself sitting in the same seat Ghislaine Maxwell was sitting at. the same angle and everything, and it showed the bus stop in the background, and it's a different ad. So we don't know. And supposedly, this is reported in some of these articles that people got in touch with the company that does the ads. They circulate the ads on these bus stops. They claimed the ad that is shown in the Ghislaine Maxwell picture in New York Post, that ad never existed on their rotation. So somebody edited these pictures and released them for Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm just, again, trying to, I know I've talked about that a bunch of times, but I feel like that puts things in perspective for you guys when it's like, oh, something, there's a dead link. Huh, I wonder why there's a dead link. Why do you think there's a dead link? In a high-profile thing like this fucking guy got arrested, detained at least, at this Charlie Kirk thing. He was released. He wasn't found guilty of having been involved in it, and they're out there scrubbing the internet of his existence. The podcasts are getting deleted. The articles, ESPN articles are getting deleted. You think that's just like a coincidence that all this stuff is, obviously it's not. But why is it, who are they protecting? Who is the media working with?
As a liberal, was there to debate Charlie Kirk, and tragically was the person who was speaking with Kirk at the very moment that the shot was fired.
Hopefully we're going to have a little bit more disagreement.
Yours was the last question that Charlie Kirk ever heard.
Yeah, there's a strange amount of weight to that. I don't really know how to grapple with that. I mean, he's answered tens of thousands of questions, and that was the first.
So this angle, guys, right here, it's this angle. Here, let me go down here so you can see a little bit better. This is the video I saw. So they're probably going to edit this out, but this is the angle I saw. Charlie Kirk gets hit here, and you can see this guy's genuine reaction to it. He has like a little bit of a mental break. Like he's just like he's shaking and puts his hands up and then sort of like grabs his head.
Question I've ever asked him. We never talked before that.
There's video of you in that moment. What was that moment like?
I thought I heard a firecracker, and I see his I see the bullet hit his neck, and I fall to the ground. I think I recognized immediately what this was. This wasn't necessarily like a mass shooting. This was like an assassination.
I just remember I got up and I ran and I called my mom and I said, "Mom, Charlie Kirk's been shot."
That video right there gives me chill. I got fucking goosebumps right now. That video gives me chills every time. That video right there, that they're up on that balcony thing, and you can really get a sense for like the vibe of like people are out there just like chilling and like, holy shit, Charlie Kirk, this famous guy at our campus, and we're all out here. People are interviewing, like they can't even get close. They don't even want to fight the crowd to get close to Charlie Kirk. The people are interviewing random people that are just in the crowd, like, what do you think about Charlie Kirk being here and whatever? And then the fucking shot goes off, and it's just like it becomes this fucking this other moment where it was like the vibe changes to where you're just like you have a confrontation with your mortality and stuff. You can hear it in that guy's voice when he's like, holy fuck, he just got shot. He's just like in utter shock, running away. They just like, people just don't even know what to do. That's just like that's harsh.
And she goes, "What?" And I said, "He's been shot. I literally watched a bullet enter his neck, and I watched him die in front of me."
We've all heard the vile statements that Destiny made about Charlie's life being taken from him. But did you know that the guy who was speaking to Charlie when he was unalived was a guy who was part of Destiny's Unfuck America's tour? If you haven't heard of Unfuck America, the Unfuck America tour, look who that is, was scheduled to follow Turning Point around.
Yeah, the Unfuck America tour, fucking Destiny Bro, the couple I've seen with Destiny have been like embarrassing, dude. The one was just really, really terrible quality. You couldn't hear shit. And he was just getting fucked with the whole time. And then the other one was like a not quite a Charlie Kirk size crowd. And it was inside somewhere. And he really didn't look like, I mean, he had a white knight moment defending a trans person, and that was like, the most like for their side, it seemed like the most based moment that they could have like perceived was, oh, Destiny, he said, don't make fun of the trans person, make fun of me. And that was like the biggest like moment for them dunking on their opponents. I mean, from what I could tell, I watched a lot of it. What were you saying? Curiosity seekers collect memorabilia. George Zinn of Salt Lake City got 2 keepsakes for his scrapbook by showing up for Kobe Bryant's court hearing on Thursday. Headline from 2003 to Dead Link. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Bather Al-Athad. Welcome. I think that's a new name. I feel like I would have remembered that if I'd seen that before. Welcome to the stream. What is it? What does Trump have anything to do with this topic? So we covered the Trump stuff earlier in the stream. We're like, we're almost at 2 hours into the stream now. But yeah, so Trump, it was just classic, like 2016 style Trump teasing us with the N-word. That's all that was. Short little clip. He's referring to the word nuclear, but then also referred to the other N-word that most people are referring to when they say N-word. I just farted. Yeah, I just burped. We're some gassy guys, aren't we? We're just some gassed up shorties.
And counter all of Turning Point's events. That's why this guy was speaking to Charlie when Charlie was unalive. Now, of course, if you go to unfuckamericatour.com, you'll see this message pop up, and they're talking about how disturbed they are about what happened to Charlie. They're saying that they're grieving, and please give them space while they can grieve. Again, Destiny is their lead creator, and he's making these comments about Charlie and people who think like Charlie. Everyone who works for Turning Point should get a restraining order against him immediately.
Dude, that is crazy, man. That is a good point. I never would have gone over to these people's page to like sniff any of this out. I'm glad there are a lot of people that are kind of looking through this. So this Unfuck America tour thing, it's these guys, it's the TikTok twinks. You guys remember this is what I was talking about before. Those TikTok twinks were a part of this too, and I think they kind of like jumped ship or whatever. I don't know. There's a bunch of drama and bullshit. But yeah, Destiny is one of the like biggest names that they have associated with this tour thing, where they were going like following Charlie Kirk around and doing their own, whatever, trying to debate Charlie Kirk and then also doing their own speaking events and whatnot. And so it's weird that this official Instagram page for the group, the Unfuck America, organization, is talking about how they're like so sad and everything. But one of their biggest guys, I won't say he's the head. I don't know that to be true, but I'm the TikTok twinks were the other biggest people that I knew associated with the Unf America tour thing. And the only other person I'm really familiar with is Destiny. I know he's a big name, so I'm willing to bet he probably is the biggest person associated with the thing. He's out there pretty much saying like, oh yeah, no, it's good for Republicans to be scared to get shot at public events because, this and that, Donald Trump, January 6th. It all goes back to January 6th for Destiny. Every issue Destiny has in life, he somehow can find a way to tie it back to the insurrection on January 6th. It's incredible.
So that he or anyone who works for him is not allowed to show their ass up at these Turning Point events. I've noticed that not a lot of you guys know about this. And why do I know about this? Because one of these people that's part of this tour follows me. She actually seems quite fucking reasonable. She seems like a decent person. That's how I know about this. I'm just saying, I don't understand why, and I guess it's because no one knows, but this needs to be like mainstream news. What the actual...
And people have obviously pointed to the irony that the point that I was trying to make is how peaceful the left was right before he got shot. And that only makes sense if we stay peaceful. And as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I'm on the record for how much I disagree with Charlie Kirk, but like, man, dude, he is still a human being. Have we forgotten that? Are we crazy? Like,
they say that Charlie Kirk was offered an infusion of $150 million by Israel. Okay? That would double Israel's budget, or excuse me, Turning Point USA's budget. Turning Point USA has an annual budget of $140 million. Netanyahu offered Turning Point $150 million for one purpose and one purpose only, to shill for Israel harder. Turning Point USA is already pro-Israel. They're not anti-Israel. They've never been anti-Israel. Charlie Kirk has, in the past, criticized Bibi Netanyahu. He has criticized secular left-wing Jewry in America. He has criticized a war with Iran, the famine in Gaza. He has never opposed Israel in itself. He has never explicitly opposed Israel. Israel offered him $150 million to be more pro-Israel than they already were, to be harder in their support for Israel, and in particular, to support regime change in Iran and to support their ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza. And Charlie Kirk refused the money. And I have independently confirmed that, by the way. I've heard that from 4 people. 4 people that I trust that are in the know. So this is coming from Candace Owens, a friend of Charlie Kirk. This is coming from Max Blumenthal, who purports to have a source. And I have heard from a handful of people independently of those sources that this offer was real and that Kirk turned down the money.
Ouch, man. It's an offer he could not refuse, huh? Looks like it.
After Charlie Kirk turned down the money, Netanyahu asked if he would come visit Jerusalem and give him the re-education tour. The Holocaust Museum, the burned babies, the beheaded babies, the one that Elon Musk took, the one that our Speaker of the House took. Anyone that's ever criticized Israel has been subjected to. He refused that as well. They offered to bribe him. They tried to re-educate him. He refused both offers.
No, I'm with you there. Elbows down. No, I'm with you. That's not good evidence. It's not, but it's not, it doesn't seem far-fetched at all. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Bro, now they're going even harder in the paint. I mean, this fucking the Charlie Kirk replacement twink guy, the Brylan Candy Hand, what is his Holly Hand? So whatever kind of like twinkish, elvish name that fucking guy has, that whatever he is, that guy, he's like extremely pro-Israel. They're just going hard in the paint with the pro-Israel stuff now. I mean, it's just that they probably got that 150. They got it now. That 150 check cleared, I think, on September 10th. I could be crazy though. Holly Hand is the right version of hogwash. You little fucking Holly Hand, you. Holly Hand just sounds like, I mean, the guy seems gay. Let's just be real. The guy seems gay. He seems very gay. the Southern accent, that's not an excuse for how gay that guy sounds. It's the same vibe you get from what's the senator's name? Congressman, whatever the fuck he is. I can't remember. I'm too baked. I'm done. Bob D. Lover, welcome, sir. Winning. Who's winning? The deep state. Wild times we're in, guys. Hold on a second. Oh, so here, let me take you to. Look, these are. I've never played a compilation, one of these compilations of the clips that people are saying got Kirk into some hot water with Netanyahu. But here's a little compilation I stumbled across today. So I was like, I'll save this. I haven't played any of these clips yet. I've talked about them, but I haven't played them.
Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So, Ben, some people...
Lindsey Graham. I didn't have to look that up. Lindsey Graham. That's the senator I was thinking of, who also has a very feminine, speech pattern and stuff. And it's a southern, it's very, Southern belle, but it's an emphasis on the belle, the homo.
People would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. Some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over.
When a lawmaker like Ted Cruz uses the Bible to justify aid to Israel, doesn't even know the verse, do you guys think that's like not the best way to approach this?
Bro, so this is, I don't know how far back some of these clips go. I know there's the famous clip, it got deleted from YouTube, where Charlie Kirk is on the PBD podcast and he's talking about what happened on October 7th and some of his suspicions with I don't know, just some things, some minor details, like the fact that it took 6 hours for the IDF to respond to the attacks and interact with Hamas at all, to confront Hamas. It took 6 hours. 6 hours. Just a minor detail about October 7th, this country there that has one of the best militaries, best trained militaries, and the Iron Dome, and is supposed to be so well protected, took 6 hours for Hamas to be confronted by the Israeli military. So yeah, there's that old clip. That's the one that's from a while ago. But the most of these clips, like in this compilation, like this is referring to the Ted Cruz thing. That wasn't that long ago. That was like a couple months ago or something. A lot of these are really recent when it seems like you're starting to see a pattern that I wasn't even aware of at the time. I thought this whole time, I was like, oh, Charlie Kirk is still a shill for Benjamin Netanyahu or whatever. But it looks like he wasn't really, at least recently.
Your hand. Okay.
I think Ted Cruz used Genesis 12:3. I think a lot of people see that as off-putting when you look at the New Testament.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people, they look especially at the writings of Paul, where he talks about how the new flesh is not the same as the people in the old covenant. The new flesh is everybody, everyone's included.
Talking about Romans 9.
Yes. 9:6. Yeah.
Are you Catholic?
Converting to Catholic from
Judaism.
I can tell.
This is my next. Oh, from Judaism?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you're you're ethnically Jewish.
Ethnically Jewish, yes.
And you have concerns about AIPAC.
Yes, I do.
I'm told that by some people,
Nazi,
that if I criticize AIPAC, I'm anti-Semitic.
I think it's ridiculous. Yeah. I feel like it's great to have a concern for your country.
Is that Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who is obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, but there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. For example,
Bro, that is a thing I've heard a few people say, including not Harvey Weinstein, but the Weinsteins, Brett, right? And what's the other guy? Eric. Yeah, Eric and Brett Weinstein. Those guys seem to have the same impression from when they actually interacted with Epstein, that he was like, they used like the same kind of terms, like he was playing a role or something, as if he was a guy that's like into sciencey stuff and is like a, you know, a fucking investor and whatever the fuck. Like it was, he seemed like, to him, he said he didn't have like a lot of technical knowledge of like any of the shit he seemed like he was into or something. Like he just seemed like he was playing a role.
I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do. And that's really, really weird, isn't it, Megan? That's not right. On some part of the population, you can scold them into silence, right? But if I have any deviation of a purity test, any deviation whatsoever, such as hosting a focus group, right, Megan, with a bunch of our students that went viral, having Dave Smith or Tucker at my event, it is all of a sudden, oh, Charlie is he's no longer with us and all that. I said, wait a second, what do you mean? What does with us mean exactly, right? I'm an American, okay? Like I represent this country, and I don't even understand that paradigm. But
wow, that sounds very anti-Semitic of him. He better be careful. Oh, too late.
Megan, right? Megan, it would be one thing if it was one text or two texts. It is dozens of texts.
Yes.
Then we start to say, hold the boat here. And to be, if Bibi Netanyahu, if he does something I don't like, and if I criticize it, am I like a bad Christian? Absolutely not. What I find strange is that to be pro-Israel means you believe in the nation of Israel, not necessarily the government of Israel.
Ay, careful there, buddy. What are you talking about? Elbows down. What are you saying? He had tables in his apartment where you could, where you would set a glass down and then the glass would fall off. Things are all over his apartment. He was always playing very strange tricks and morbid games with people. Oh, Epstein, you're talking about. He had a table like slanted at an angle, no coasters, so your drink would just slide off. That's a good rib. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. It's 10 something. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I have no idea what we're getting into tomorrow. I have a bunch of stuff. Guys, there's like shit I've had saved since before the Kirk stuff happened. I don't know if I'm even ever going to get, like, I don't know. We might get to that sometime soon, but yeah, guys, Fukushima. All right, so yeah, tomorrow our evening lineup. What do we got? Scott Starboard at 6 p.m. Eastern. Looks like Scott Starboard actually got in contact with what's his name, Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen's handlers, his people, or whatever. So I guess he's trying to get Charlie Sheen onto Alex Stein's show and also possibly onto his stream as well. That would be awesome. That would be crazy. So yeah, I'm hoping that works out for both of them. That would be nuts, man. That would help out Scott Starboard a lot, I know. But yeah, that'd be good for either of them. So yeah, our evening lineup tomorrow. Go check out Scott Starboard show. He's my mod, my one and only mod. I don't know if he's in here at the moment, but that's our dude. We don't really, you know, as long as we try to behave ourselves, we don't really need a mod. It's really just for show so that people know I can have someone delete them. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see you guys 6 p.m. Eastern. Scott Starboard will be live. If you've seen him in the chat, you can click right there from his profile. Then we got Alex Stein, Prime Time with Alex Stein. His show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then He's doing a new channel though. I think his Blaze contract is like running out, I guess. So they're starting a new channel up. I'm gonna promote that some here on this. I'll give you guys more once I get the proper link and stuff. I'll get you guys in the know. So yeah, that's at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and then at 8 o'clock I'll be back on streaming tomorrow, and who knows what we'll be getting into there. So thank you guys for the support. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Everybody in the chat, Adam, elbows down, lovers, Dutch Duke in here. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Thanks, DMS. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody take it easy. Love you.